Hi, hello, it's me. I've been foraging a lot recently. A lot. Wait, I didn't realize I was top 400 now. Anyway, how did this happen? Why did I forage for like 80 hours? Well, to understand that, we should go back a few years and look at this guy, my co-op member. You can't see him. His skin is black. He's been begging me to make a new skin for him, but now this is what I think happened when he first walked into the park. He saw a tree, broke it, and is like, wow, that is so fun. I'll do this for the next 50 hours. I'm not kidding. He got to like level 40. And if you know anything about old foraging pre-Galatea, you know that's impressive. With the release of Galatea, my co-op member knew he had to play the new update. Not only did they make foraging actually fun, and remember, this is the guy who spent crazy amounts of time foraging when it was not fun, it also made a crap ton of money. But still, we couldn't play for that long. We had exams and stuff, and we couldn't dedicate that much time to Skyblock. But then Aura came around, and my guy started putting in crazy hours. He got to 500 million XP in foraging, which is not that insane, but it's still a lot for high school students when finals were like a month away. What was I doing? Well, obviously, as a good student, I was studying, I was playing dungeons, okay? I was getting into master mode, I was trying to do M7 and all. Now, how is all this relevant to my foraging journey? Well, you're looking at the connecting piece right here. This helmet. Well, it's not the helmet itself, it's the skin. Now, when this released, we knew this skin could be pretty good, so we decided to invest and buy a couple of these. Well, 9 isn't that much. I've seen people with like 20 plus. You might still be wondering, how is this related? Again, well, this armor that you're seeing is not actually my armor. This was my co-op's. This was his old armor. With his old armor, the Dark Oak version looks the best, but there was a small problem because the version of this helmet, which was clearly the best, was the Pale Oak one. Now the issue is it doesn't really match this armor that much. A white dyed armor would look much nicer with this. And he was planning on replacing the armor, well, replacing the dye on the armor, and I told him, don't do that, just make a new set. And he actually listened to me and made this. It looks pretty nice. I still think the other armor looks a little nicer, but we have two armor sets now. I used to not forage. I used to not forage at all. And now I had like a hypermaxed foraging set. So I knew I at least had to max out foraging, and I started foraging a little bit. And I found that it was actually pretty fun. I had a lot of fun just trying to go through and break the trees as fast as possible and even go for XP. And yeah, that's how I got into foraging. Let's not even talk about this axe, which was absorb 10. And if you don't know what that means, it doesn't matter. It basically takes a crazy amount of time to get an axe to absorb 10. And he just gave me one and started using a different one. So yeah, I was just handed a hypermax setup. So I kind of felt pressured to forage. Also, the reason I was pressured is because this armor set and this axe together are worth like nearly 1 billion coins, and I didn't want it just sitting around doing nothing. Now, things were normal till Mash Clash uploaded his video about how he became the #1 forager on Hypixel. Well, it's kind of. Let me explain. Now, every 20 minutes, Agatha here hosts a contest. In this contest, you could be doing literally anything. You could be cutting mangrove trees. You could be cutting some fig trees. You could be punching some bushes, or even go fishing or something. What Mash got first in was Fig PB at a score of, I think, 1.3 million. Now, you might have seen he got beaten. Why is all this important? Well, because this guy's just because I'm like, hey, this looks fun. I like speedrunning. I should go for one. Like, I don't know how well I could do, but I should at least just try. Now, how does one get a good PB? Well, you need Hypermax gear. And that's not really an issue. I have the best armor and the best axe. And, well, there was one thing that I was missing. A Jade Dragon. Yeah, my co-op ended up having to borrow it. It is what it is. With that, I had max gear. Now, that's not all. The tree itself, the heart of the forest tree, needs to be a little bit different because there are two perks which you usually don't use, but they are really good for this specific case, that being early bird and half full, half empty. We'll get to half full, half empty in a bit, but early bird just gives you a pretty big sweep and foraging fortune buff for the first 250 trees. You can go through 250 trees in like 20 minutes. So it's perfect for PB, but other than that, it's kind of useless. You know, you have it for 20 minutes and then you gain nothing off of it. Half full, half empty, on the other hand, is even worse because if a person with half full stands in a 16 block radius of a person with half empty, then they both get a foraging fortune buff and a sweep buff. It's ideal to forage alone, so having a person follow you around is not good. And there is one last thing, the beacon. This gives you about 15 fortune per person who finishes this. That took way too long for me to finish. For each person who finishes this, you usually gain 15. Wait, what? 20? I don't know the exact numbers, but the more people who do the beacon, the more fortune you have. So it's ideal to find an empty lobby, warp in a bunch of people, get them all to finish the beacon, have one person follow you around, and you have either half empty or half full, and the other person has the other one. You break the tree as fast as possible, following a route. I just use the route my co-op made because they're probably the best on the server, because no one's crazy enough to spend like as much time as he did making routes. A lot of the time the trees just don't break because ping. Sometimes the hits don't register, sometimes this tree will be left on 99% because lag, and for that having someone clean up is very, very nice because you don't have to backtrack and all. You can purely focus on going through as many trees as possible. Now, in Galatea, there are only 11 big trees. This is important because most good players, well, all good players, can go through all 11 in less than a minute, way less than a minute. Now, that 1 minute is actually important because if I break this tree real quick and just sit here and wait, the tree is fully back and it's taken a minute. You kind of have to trust me on this. Well, I guess I can show it to you in my... This is the thing, and like, pay attention to this number. This is the starting, and this is the ending. Why am I on my phone? I have no idea. Now, as I told, any half-decent forager can go through all 11 of the big trees in less than a minute. So if you can do that, you kind of just stand here awkwardly waiting for the tree to regen. Instead of doing that, we can just add a medium tree, like this one, and there are a few others you can add. Okay, I was told by my co-op that foraging in F1 is pretty fun. What? How do you play like this? I mean, I guess I could kind of see it, but then like, what? Okay, I don't have my chat triggers. You know, when I break a tree, I get like a huge warning. Even that's gone. Okay, I'm losing so much important information out here. You know, I have to know I'm in like West Reaches. I can get to know that I moved to the Verdant Summit. You know, that's such important information that I need to know. Anyway, this is my first attempt on trying to go for a PB. This contest went off to a great start. We had 5-stack beacon, giving me 100 extra fig fortune, and the lobby seemed pretty good, as in it wasn't lagging. That's where the good things end. Okay, I'm going.
Bro.
Dude, it's been like 10 seconds.
No, that was... Okay. Amazing
Oh no,
stuff.
this whole thing is gone!
No.
No, which guy did
Okay, let's go to the next tree. Come on, quick.
That is so unfortunate. And lottery's giving me mangrove fortune. Love to see it. Okay, it's fine. I don't think it counted like first 40 seconds gone.
There's some guy doing trees. Oh my god.
This is such a disaster. Oh my god. Now, you guys might have noticed something. I had a 20k score contest right before starting this one. That's because I spent 15 minutes or so warming up, and in the 5 minutes of downtime I had between that contest and this PB attempt, some guy came in and did half the trees. Again, I was here for 15 minutes, and in the 5-minute gap, my entire route, basically half the route, was taken. And in the first minute, I basically broke 3 trees and got a score of 500. Oh yeah, also, do you remember how I told that the server wasn't lagging? Yeah, it started doing that. This is just classic Hypixel. And also, just so we are all on the same page, for a good PB, or top 10, which is what I want, I need to be going at 1.7 thousand a minute. I'm at 500. This is really bad. Well, thankfully, my friends were able to convince the guy. I mean, it took a lot of convincing, but he eventually just let me have the lobby, which is great. Until two other people came in and started mining trees. Come on, dude, can I just have a break?
You just have to get fast enough to the point where the tree regens, I guess.
I can't. Like, yeah, I am getting to that speed, but then these guys are breaking them in between. That's throwing off all the order, just causing me to
Yep.
miss. I am getting a 3 regen speed.
Okay, so in the first 5 minutes, I got 6.7 thousand points. I swear I'm not doing this on purpose. I don't know why this keeps happening, this video. And if we do a bit of math, oh no, that is not good. For reference, my previous PB was 23.5 thousand, and I got that without a Jade Dragon, without early bird, without half full half empty, without a person following me around breaking all the trees that I missed. This one's really not going well. Even though this contest was completely cooked, I decided to just finish it up because I used up like quite a bit of my early bird and I can't really attempt another contest today, so may as well finish this one. But then the people griefing me stopped because I was breaking all the trees and I started to lock in.
Wait, come on, let me TP. There. We're okay.
$13 TPM. Okay.
Maybe you can make it back.
This is worse than the last one, I think. I'm only at 11k right now.
Yeah, that's bad. Yeah.
This is already at my PB.
Oh, already at 25?
24.
Okay. Yeah, then you'll hit 30-ish.
No, Jerry! The Jerry actually blocked my hits. Yeah, 30k. Well, actually, almost 31 at this point. Yep, that's that. Done.
Okay, what did you get? It's done.
Yep. Just barely 1 million, damn.
So that score got me a modest 16th place in the whole server. Out of 30 million people. I mean, well, technically a lot of them didn't even get to Galatea, so they never even cut a fig tree. And like, on top of that, most people don't care about going really fast in Agatha contest, but that's not important. Anyway, you might be wondering, if that contest was such a disaster, why didn't I just go for another attempt? Well, I did. Then you might be wondering, why are there waypoints in the sky? Wait, no, that's not what you guys were wondering. Why am I not showing the second attempt if it was better than the first one? And also, you don't know this, but it had a crazy ending. Well, you know this button called the record button? You can't see it because the record button is now stop recording. But actually, I forgot I could just use my phone. Can you see the record button? Can you see it? I not only forgot to click that, I also forgot to open OBS. I know I'm a professional YouTuber. Now, the final score I got was 1.103 million. Now, this number is important because take a look at the person right behind me. I beat him by 400. Now, to explain how insane 400 logs is, that's about 20 points, and this is me getting 20 points. That was like 40. But here's the main thing. This wasn't for 9th place. Back when I got this PB, this was for 10th place because the previous 9th place holder got wiped, which is unfortunate. I think he got ratted. Be safe out there, kids. You could get ratted too. You should be very careful with what you download. This was the leaderboard when I got that PB. As you can see, I got top 10 by 400. I can't even begin to explain how hype it was. Ever since I got that PB, I have always been saying one thing. I can get top 3 if I wanted to. But I'm never gonna go for it. Why? Because the servers suck, okay? I think everybody has experienced just how bad the servers have been recently. I genuinely cannot bring myself to even forage casually, let alone go for a PB. The server's actually pretty decent right now, but Trust me, most of the time it's complete garbage, and it is no fun to even forage or do anything in this game. The main thing I wanted to talk about is, can I really say I can get top 3 when I intend to never go for it? This is something I've noticed people in general do. We'll be like, oh, I can do that thing if I just try. I can't be bothered to do it because it's too annoying. We've all said that. I've been saying that about this, and that made me think, can I really say I can beat Shork or and get top 3? Can I really say I can beat Preposing and get top 5 when I never intend to do it? I don't know. It's, I guess, your choice, but that's just something I noticed. I don't know if I have the right to even say I can get top 3 or top 2 when I never intend to even try to do it. Well, hopefully in Galatea V2, we have trees which are less ping dependent. What do you mean they're the most ping dependent trees?